How's it going, everybody? I'm standing here by this Tyler fertilizer spreader. This belongs to McDowell Walker. McDowell Walker, you probably heard me mention that before. Let all these vehicles go by. You probably heard McDowell Walker mentioned before. That's where we take our corn and soybeans. When we sell them, they actually bank our soybeans, and that's where we buy our feed. So they use them in the feed for the milking cows. But that's where we get our feed. That's where we get our fertilizer. Obviously, we just put down some nitrogen off an alfalfa field that we took first cutting off of. And that's who does our spraying. So normally I don't film the spraying, only because it's an outside contractor, and when we have an outside contractor or a service guy or whoever show up to the farm, I usually don't run up and shove a camera in their face. Just because I do YouTube, I know a lot of people, aren't looking to be on YouTube, so I don't really I don't run up and start filming without someone giving me their blessing, purposely anyway. Sometimes I might catch people on it, but I don't purposely do it. I got a phone call from Steve, who's one of their sprayers, and he wanted to be filmed. He wanted to know if I'd film him, so I'm like, yeah, absolutely, if you want to, absolutely. So I'm going to answer a couple questions I'm sure I'm going to get in this video, so let me touch base on that real quick. So question number one, I'm sure people want to know, what are they spraying down? What's Steve spraying down? I asked him, he's spraying down, this is a pre-emergence. We do a pre-emergence, which obviously is exactly like it sounds, pre-emerge, before the corn emerges from the ground. We'll spray with a pre-emergence for weed coverage or weed control, and then we'll do another one later on. For our grain corn, silage corn, So what are they spraying? So Steve said it's a mix of Acuron and Atrex, if I'm pronouncing those names right. The majority of it is water. He comes with a big tank of water, and then he mixes up whatever he has to mix up and goes out and sprays. Question number two, I'm sure I'm going to hear, is why don't we do our own spraying? There's still some people in our area that I'm sure I'm going to get comments, well, we do all the spraying on our farm. Yeah, good for you. I'm glad if that's what you find is beneficiary for your operation, then hey, good for you guys. In our area, it's not that common, really. McDowell Walker actually does the majority of the spraying in our area. I know my brother-in-law still does his own spraying. My buddy Dusty, his dad still does his spraying. So it's not, and it doesn't have anything to do with the size of the operation. We're a small dairy farm. We milk 50 cows, so he'll come here and do our spraying. Our neighbors Chuck and Andy, they milk about 120 to 150 cows. They got a nice robot facility. They will do their spraying. My buddy Brock milks about 800 to 1,000 cows and does about 1,000 acres of corn. They do their spraying. So it's just we find it easier for them it does not take long for them to come in. You'll see the size of the rig. It's a big case. I think the model number's a 330. I'm not too familiar with sprayers and stuff like that, but he's got the GPS on it, so he's able to be efficient, cover a lot of ground quickly, be efficient. Like I said, they can take care of it really fast, and we don't have to carry the license, the chemical license. So it just works out good for us. So that's why we do it. And like I said, like a lot of farms around here do not do their own spraying. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get a lot of people saying we do our own spraying. Like I said, if that's what's beneficial for your operation, then great. But anyway, I just want to take care of that real quick. Without further ado, this is Steve taking care. Now, he's not doing the whole corn acres in this video. He's just doing about 50 acres. Because this season's so screwy, we had him come and do a few of the corn acres, and then by the time we had to get back to a certain area, it was too wet to get on. We finally got it all done. He came back, he did a beautiful job. So like I said, big, huge, wide boom. He can take care of this in a very short amount of time. So this is Steve doing the spraying, doing the pre-emergent spraying. Enjoy. was spraying pre-emergence on our corn ground. Excuse me. Steve did a great job. Like I said, he's in and out really, really quick. Even if he did all our corn acres, it would not take that long. It'd probably take just as long driving up and down the road, going to some of these fields as it would be to get the fields done. I mean, he comes in, gets it done real quick, and just does such a nice job. Like I said, that machine's very efficient, very well, very wide, so you're able to get it done really quick. He's able to shut off. Now I asked him, he does not have the individual. He's got GPS in there, but he doesn't have the nozzles that shut off when he crosses over. He's shutting them off by himself. So it takes even though he's got GPS, he can see where he's going. It takes a real good skilled operator to be able to shut them off, to not overspray too much, and he does a great job at that. He's a really good operator. So anyway, thumbs up to you, Steve. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, time to move on to the next video. So thumbs up if you like this video. Drop me a question or comment below. I didn't do the spraying, so I don't know if I'll be able to answer your question. I'll answer it as best I can. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you have, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thumbs up to you. I totally appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody.